What is going on, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday afternoon. I appreciate you guys all being here. As always, this is Reality After Show at After Show on YouTube. You can also follow me, twitch.tv/Bobby Goodspeed. If you guys are new here, give us a like, give us a follow, hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever I do go live. I appreciate each and every one of you here today with me. You can also find me on my social media handles at Goodspeed Bobby on both Twitter/X and Instagram. So a little bit different stream today. Let me just make sure we're good. A little bit different stream today. Today we're going to be talking Survivor. We've been talking a lot of Big Brother. I think the Big Brother timeline is kind of starting to fizzle out. We're starting to get into the off season of Big Brother. So now we are merging over to Survivor, as you've seen by the thumbnail and by the description today. So get your comments in the chat read live here on stream. I read everyone's chat live here on stream, so don't be shy if you guys can. Get your comments read live, and I will get to those now. Hope you guys are all having a great afternoon. A lot to talk about Survivor. A lot of thoughts on the season. Hope you guys are all doing well. Yeah. So let's see here. Kate the Great says, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Kate, been a minute. I'm glad to see you back on here. My dad's Chip, sorry about your Padres. Yeah, it was a rough one yesterday. I was in my feels, that's for sure. I just hate, I hate that the freaking playoffs, like when it comes down to it, it's just like a 3-game stint all away. I mean, I get it. It is what it is, but it's just, it sucks. Are you sure Rizzo is a member of Survivor 50? He can't do puzzles. Oh, we know he's a member of Survivor 50, so I'm excited to see where Rizzo goes from here on the show. Now, that's one thing I definitely want to talk about. Hey, Bobby, how's it going, Kendra? Good to see you again, my friend. He couldn't solve it, but he knew how to cheat. And that's fine. At the end of the day, it's Survivor. Anything goes. I did just finish my audition tape for Survivor 51/52. I sent it over to Gabe for him to check out. So fingers crossed on that one. Filling out the application tonight when I get off work. He has a lot of thoughts that he just sent me, so I'm excited to see. What he has to say about my tape. He gave me a lot of good input, so we will see where that goes, guys. But yeah, so as far as for 49, Rizzo has not been like a main character vibe so far on our screen, right? But we know he's a part of that major Red Alliance. Now, the thing is, I think that we're going to see the best of Rizzo yet to come. I think he's well secured in the alliance that he is a part of, and there's obviously some reason to bring him back. I think it's more than just the Riz God character that he may portray. I mean, honestly, from what we've seen, we haven't seen the Riz God like moniker, really, right? Like we haven't seen that character come out. He's been pretty much just Rizzo the whole time, which I'm kind of happy to see. I don't need to see someone that's not being themselves. But I like that he cheated in that first competition. You know what? I have no problems with it. If that's how Survivor is going to allow it to be, then I'm all for it. If it's part of the game, it's part of the game. I have no qualms when it comes to that. Let me just pull this up real quick so that I don't botch anyone's name. Still learning the cast names, even though I have a good idea of who they are. It's still, I feel like at times I like blank on the character name, so I have to get a picture representation up here just so to be clear on who's who up there. Why is it so blurry? I don't know why it's so blurry. All right, so let's see here. Let's get into your guys' comments. Remember, get your guys' comments read live here on stream every single time I go live. I read everyone's everyone's comments live here on the stream. Hope you guys are all doing well. Kate, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, my friend. I absolutely hope everything works out. We'll see. If not, it's no big deal. Imagine you're on Survivor 51 with Rachel, X Factor of Survivor. I mean, dude, you have no idea. I would literally just go all out. I would go all out. But I mean, chances of it actually happening are very, very slim. Instant #1 allies from the start. I would absolutely love that. You know, I doubt anyone would even recognize me, so I feel like I'm at least insulated that way. Maybe from my time on Rahat, but that was so long ago, I doubt it. Let's see here. Parguska, how you doing? Good to see you. Long time no see. Oh wait, no, it's Pam. Never mind. I thought you were someone else. Oh, so you have two different names. Oh, you're on Twitch on here. My bad. I'm not used to seeing the Twitch logo on here. Welcome in, Pam. Good to see you again. I follow you on stream on Facebook. Perfect. Awesome. Oh, actually, thank you for reminding me. I need to switch my I need to change my Facebook post, because if I don't, it'll only go to friends. And I don't know why it does that whenever I post it. It just goes live to friends unless I have to manually switch the audience to public. So edit, public, save. Good. Thank you for the reminder. But hey, you said Facebook, even though I knew you meant YouTube. I'm so glad that you said Facebook, because it instantly reminded me I need to switch that. So what were your guys' thoughts on Survivor 40 now that we're through 2 episodes of the season? I know a lot of people are down. A lot of people are down on the season. And I understand why, right? I understand that it's very much set up so that we have these tribes forming with these strong 4 alliances, 4 people alliances in each tribe. Outside the yellow tribe, I feel like it's a little more fluid. But you see, like the red tribe, they have their strong 4. They're not going to budge from that. That seems pretty strong. You see the 4 that have survived for the blue tribe, and it's been pretty cut and dry with that happening. However, I don't think that is a circumstance of what could happen every season. Now, I do agree. I think that the tribes of 6, we've always said this. I've said this many times on stream. The tribes of 6, I'm not for it. I think everyone's not for it. I'd rather see 2 tribes of 9. Give me that. Let the gameplay be a little more fluid, like it was in the past when we had tribes of, two different tribes instead of 3, because it allows for people to be able to play the game a little bit more and try to move their alliances depending on which side they're on. It's not just one side takes over and they dominate because they have 4 people on their side or 3 people on their side, what have you. And I feel like not every season is like that. And I do think Alex missed a big play this season. I think he missed a big play in this last episode, where I absolutely believe Alex should have used his idol on Annie to save Annie. I explained it a lot on stream yesterday, but he would have been so well insulated in the fact that now Annie is super tight with you. Now Jake has to go back to you. Now you're definitely his number 1, even though you kind of backstab him. Where else is he going to go? Is he going to go to Jeremiah? Is he going to go to Annie? No, I don't think so. So I think that he has to go back to you as a number 1. Then you have 2 against 1 against Jeremiah, and you have your biggest threat out there for Jake's attention and Sophie gone from the game. I absolutely think that would have been the right play. And now what? Yes, he bought himself possibly, 1 more tribal council, as long as he knows he needs to use his idol, because now you don't just get rid of that idol that everyone knows about. Everyone and their mom knows you have an idol on this tribe. So you have to instantly get rid of it. When you're in a position like Alex is in, where everyone in the tribe knows you have an idol, that idol is now dead. You have to immediately use that idol the first chance you get, because people are going to want to flush that idol. They don't want that idol a part of the game. So let's get back to your guys' comments over here. Humane says, if I was on it, I know as much about Survivor as Kelly does Big Brother, but day 1, I'd work with Rachel. If Rachel was out there, absolutely. Humane, I highly recommend. Check out Survivor. There's some very good seasons of Survivor. There's some absolute classic seasons of Survivor. So if you get a chance, definitely check it out. If you ever need any recommendations, I can let you know. Kagion, number 1. Let's see here. Heroes versus Villains. I even recommend to all my friends that are watching it for the first time, Pearl Islands is a very good starter. Definitely check that out. So yeah, it's definitely worth the watch if you are a Big Brother fan. It translates very well. Different show, but it translates well, especially to social strategy. I'm loving it. It's been a slow start, but not organizingly. Sorry, it took me a second on that one. And I'm giving it time to breathe. Exactly. And that's the thing, is we came into 49 with such low expectations, right? Like, who was actually like, oh yeah, I'm excited for 49 outside of the cast and their family and friends? Like, no one was excited for 49. We're all ready to move towards 50. But I think through 2 episodes, there are characters and there is a storyline developing that I'm very interested in. And I know people are down on the season, but I think people are just going to be down, right? Like, I think some people are upset about the casting for 50. I think some people are just ready to get to 50. I think some people are pissed off that there are people on 49 that we know are going to be on 50. So it's like a mixture of a lot of things mixed in with Survivor 50. And the other thing I would say too is people aren't really giving this cast its opportunity to really blend together. And Jeff has said, now granted, it's Jeff, and I don't want to take anything he says as gospel because we know in the past his views might be different than ours. But he has said on record that the latter half of this season, the second half, come jury time, the game goes wild. The game goes absolutely crazy, and there's a lot of moving parts that happen in the jury in that phase. Now, obviously, we wish it would be pretty fluid throughout the whole season, but I can see where this is going. I can see where this show is starting to lean. And yes, we are getting a lot of Savannah's takes, right? We are getting a lot of the gameplay in Savannah's eyes, right? It's coming from her perspective, which reads a lot of winners at it. With her being on 50, that makes us nervous. Also, Sophie is getting a lot of it through her eyes as well. So that also gives me winner at it. Yellow, as much as they are dominating these competitions, I'm seeing nothing from Yellow that's making me feel like these characters are long for the game outside of maybe, Steven to an extent. Like MC is starting to play the game where she's obviously not wanting to go along with those three. I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go. So let me get back to your guys' comments. We'll read those live here on stream. If you guys are new here, get your comments read live. So put your comments in the box. I will get to all of them. Agree, larger tribes are great for the strategy, room to breathe again. Exactly. They give you a lot of ability to, one, insulate yourself within the tribe while also allowing you to play the game without the fear of, hey, I just have to team up so that I'm not the first one out. Because there's so few people, I just need to make sure I team up. Even if I'm not wanting to work with these people long term, at least I know I'll be safe. And that I hate that for these people. I hate that for the game. I only watched the first episode to see who the contestants were. I can't remember the ones I was rooting for. I mean, it takes a little bit of time for me as well. It takes me time to get used to these names. And honestly, the tribes, I always just say red, yellow, blue. Like I always go by the color. I never remember the tribe names. I love Survivor 49. Savannah is my favorite because she's my dream girl. I hope Jake gets caught stealing slippers and someone shoves it up his backside. I'm rooting for Nate, the ex-Marvel producer. No, I like Nate a lot. I think Nate, they're showing him quite a bit as well. I think he's long for this game. He's well insulated in that 4-person alliance. I do like him as a character on my television screen. I think it's fun to have like that older character that's trying to mesh well with these young kids. And as far as like the stealing of shoes by Jake, I'm just already over it. I'm already over it. It's so stupid. It's only going to backfire and kick him in the ass. I can already tell. If that snake doesn't take him out, that will. I'm really worried for him about that whole snake situation. You guys see the preview on that? Where he gets bit by one of the most venomous snakes out there. I think I saw a tweet by Omar. Omar that said, they're one of the most venomous snakes, but also one of the least aggressive. If he were to get bit, like that would be a major medical issue. So if that's the actual snake that bit him, we don't know. I guess we'll find out. But they might just show that kind of snake and it's a different snake that bites him. Who knows? Because he seemed pretty calm about it, right? Like it seemed a little weird. I don't know how to watch past seasons. So if you have a Paramount Plus subscription, you can watch it there. I'm sure there's other ways around it too. I'm sure there's other ways to watch, but number one would be if you have Paramount Plus. If you watch the live feeds on Paramount Plus, then you should have access to those episodes in the past as well. Kate the Great says, my dad's chips, give him the boat with the stolen show. I think shoe is what she meant there, but yeah, like give him the boot. Excuse me, I said boat. Yeah, I think it's so stupid. It's dumb, and it's like if you get caught, it's only going to be bad, right? Like there's no upside to this at all. All right, so then my dad's chip says, I'm a huge fan of Survivor Palau and Guatemala for Bobby, John Drinkard, and Stephanie LaGrossa. Those are two of the seasons that like they're so long ago and I haven't rewatched in so long. They're kind of a blur in my head. They really are. Like I know who Stephanie LaGrossa is. I know who Bobby John is. I know these characters, but like the actual gameplay outside of like Stephanie being the only person left on her tribe, and then the second time she comes on, like her edit isn't nearly what it was the first time she went on. I am interested to see how Stephanie does when it comes to 50. But yeah, no, it's funny because those seasons, like a few of those seasons and way long ago, are such a blur in my head. I'd have to go back and rewatch outside like Pearl Islands or Marquesas or season 1 or season 2. Like honestly, outside of all those, like the others are kind of blurry in my head. Yeah, Shu, I knew what you meant. Man, my mouse is going delayed right now. Sorry to interrupt your chat about Survivor, but I'm not sure how Twitch works. I'm only seeing my comments. I am subscribed. Yeah, so when you're on Twitch, it's not going to show you the comments from both YouTube and Twitch, but I appreciate you giving me the follow over on Twitch. If you want to go back to YouTube, it's totally fine. I just appreciate getting the follow. It helps me out a lot. But yeah, no, it's you're all good. And I'll put all the comments here on this live stream as well. But unfortunately, because Twitch is separate, it only shows Twitch comments and it only shows YouTube comments when you're on either or, and it shows me all of them. So for the most part, Kate the Great, Humane, hello Andy. Wait, the great one who got suffocated on Survivor. Sorry, I just was reading that. I don't even remember anyone that got suffocated on Survivor. Andy, I don't remember. Yellow got 2 alternates on the tribe. That is another thing too. Is so apparently during the and Gabe was talking to me about this too. Apparently during the isolation phase before the game, where they're all there and they're not allowed to talk, they're not allowed to speak to each other, what have you. Apparently 2 of the castmates that were on this season and ready to go would not stop talking. Like Jeff has come out and said it, that apparently it was so much of a problem that they reached out to Jeff, and Jeff went to go. He's like, okay, tell them this is your, final warning. Stop doing it. It's a big issue. You cannot have this happen or you will not go out there on the island. And then apparently as he was talking to the execs about it, they called him back, said they're still doing it. So they're like, all right, they're gone. Like, how stupid are you? Like, thousands of people apply every season to be on this show, and you just can't not talk to someone. Like, you really have to scheme that much. And how much is it really going to help you? Like, realistically, even if you're on the same tribe, how much is it really going to help you? Once you get on the island, the dynamics change completely. So what are you thinking? Risking yourself ever playing this game just to say screw you to production and continue to talk and continue to, disobey the rules when it comes to trying to get on the show. You're not guaranteed anything. There's so many people that would love to be out there in your position, and you're out here literally talking to someone else, trying to form alliances pregame, and they're telling you to stop and giving you many opportunities. Crazy to me. Apparently, though, this cast, like, it wasn't just them. Apparently, this cast was talking a lot out there on the island. During the pregame, like they were notoriously bad for like speaking to each other when they're not supposed to, from what I've heard. Kate the Great one, I hope he's okay. I gotta remember. Oh, Andy, wait, so Andy from 47? I don't remember that. I like the season so far, but I'm always happy to watch any Survivor. Exactly. Like, here's the thing. Just like Big Brother, right? Just like Big Brother, how at times we can be very critical. We can be very vocal. We can share our frustrations with production, with the show, what have you, with the cast. We're still going to tune in, right? We're still going to tune in. Like, even 49. I've said it many times on stream. I think it should have been New Era All-Stars. I think there should have been a great lead in to here's All-Stars from the New Era, and now here's 50 Legends. That's what it should be. And if some people from 49 from the New Era All-Stars make their way onto 50 as well, I wouldn't have been mad about it. But I just hate that we have, for 50, half of the New Era and half of Old School. And then on top of that, this season really gets the shaft for 49 because there's no draw to it outside of the 2 people that we know that are going to be on 50. There's no draw as to why we should be watching this. There's no draw to what makes 49 different and makes it special right before 50. It doesn't make sense. Juan, what's going on, Juan? Good to see you again, my friend. Happy to have you in here. Hope you're doing well. Humane says, I'm too broke for Paramount Plus. Watch mini feed recaps. Gotcha. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, and I understand that. I totally understand that, if financially sometimes it can be a burden to pay for Paramount Plus. Totally get it. But There's probably other ways out there for you to watch it. So if you wanted to, I'm sure there's avenues. I'm sure someone in the chat might be able to help you as well. That's the way I always go. I'm just like, I'd rather pay for it than try to search for it. That's just me. But I get that that's not for everyone. Working and listening. Thank you so much, Mary. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Yellow has 2 alternates from the season, but I think Sophie S is also an alternate from another season. I think there's a few of those. And I could be wrong. I forget who it was, but there's definitely alternates that were on other seasons, right? Like there was, I know that when Rahap did their cast draft, Asia drafted, I believe, 2 people that were the alternates from her season. I know Sophie was one of them, but I don't remember the other one. Trying to think here. And I know Jawan has been to, like, he was at the same Rahap, what is it called? Like the live watch party thing that Rahap does. Like I went to one of those and I know Jawan was there. This is a couple of years ago, so before he even played. So there are people that are like super fans. There are people that have been through the process. And then there are people that are just lucky to be there, and MC and Jason that got lucky that 2 people were being idiots. Saying screw you to production is based. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, you're not on the show yet. So don't ruin your chances of getting on the show. If you say that stuff, if you do stuff like that to production once you're on the show, that's on you. But like, get yourself on the show first. I don't get that at all. Episode 3, medical evacuation because Jake got snake bit, perhaps foreshadowing Jake the Snake Roberts connection on Survivor 49. I honestly, we don't even know yet if he was evacuated. We're still waiting to see what happens on episode 3 when we do get that, but it doesn't look good. And I hate that for that to be the way Jake goes out. Absolutely. Especially snake bite. That's scary. Right. So I don't want that to happen. I hope everything is okay. I hope it's not as dangerous as they think it made it seem to be. And the snake that they showed and what Omer said, like, I really hope that's not the case. And I hope he's able to stay. But man, it does feel like he might be getting evacuated if that's if something is happening there. This season is so floppy. And that's what I'm seeing a lot of sentiment wise. I'm seeing a lot of people saying that on Twitter, on social media. Like people are saying like they are not about this. I saw a poll recently and it said, what do you grade this season so far? Like, I'm into it, I'm not into it, I hate it, or it's okay. And like I put I'm into it, and like majority of the people were like, it sucks, or whatever the thing was. Like it was, this looks terrible, or whatever it may be. And I was just like, I don't get that vibe at all. I just don't get that vibe. Like there's dynamic characters. There's people that I like that I think are playing the game hard. There's people that I could see being on the outs because they might be quirky characters or they might not be playing the game to the full potential. But I honestly don't see why there's so much hate for this. Like I think that I want to give this cast its due, right? And I know they watch the live stream. I know they watch our channel. We've had some of them comment on stuff in the past as well, where I know they're watching stuff from the podcast, and I want to be fair to them. I want to give them their due. I don't want them to just be overseen because we know 50 is around the corner. Like it's similar. Like I know season 39 had issues for obvious reasons, right? But at least 39 had a gimmick, right? At least it had the Island of the Idol. So you had Boston Rob out there. You had Sandra Diaz-Twine out there. So there was a draw to that season when we knew 40, the all-winner season, was around the corner. There's no draw to this one. And I really think that's on production. I really think that is something that they should have looked into. I think that there's a big issue with the fact that you have all these people playing this game like they should, but they get zero of the attention because everyone's eyes are on 50. I just don't like it. I think there should have been something more done for 49. I wish Jeremiah would tone down his laugh worse than Ava's armpit. Honestly, his laugh though is very like, it's like a lot. It's a lot. So I get that. I know someone posted Big Brother seasons 2 through 18, Big Brother full episodes. So maybe there's something like that also for Survivor. I'm not 100% sure. Someone in the chat, help you main out. See if there's a way for them to be able to find it. Being an alternate is not that bad. Our Ben, great alternates and flops alternates. Yeah, no, there's been great and bad. There's been good and bad of both. Look at Rachel. Rachel in 47 was an alternate, right? She wasn't an alternate on that season, but she had been an alternate in the past. What's his name from 45 that got second place behind D? I'm blanking on his name. He was an alternate for that season, and he got second place. So there have been very good alternates. Alternates aren't the issue. I don't ever think alternates are the issue. I do really respect and like what Survivor does, where they bring an alternate back the next season to potentially be on the season, or maybe 2 seasons down the road. I do like that, and I like that they continue to dip into that well, and then don't just be like, oh, you're an alternate, we're never going to talk to you again. Like Shaheen was an alternate at one point. Like there are alternates that I absolutely think I'm glad that they were given the opportunity. So let's see here. I feel like maybe the other 47 alternate was Sage. I think so. I think that's right, actually. I think it was Sage. I think Sage was the other alternate. I've seen those on YouTube as well. Let me see here. I remember now, was kind of perturbed about, I forgot his name, stealing the shoe, Jake. I know he is probably trying to have fun, but it's going to get old fast. He's trying to do something for TV, and it's going to get old fast. And if he gets caught, like, that's going to look bad. Like they're giving people any reason to target you. And while it might be silly, goofy, and all in like good fun, literally when you're in a small tribe like this, especially one like them that's dwindling down to now only 4 people, any excuse to vote someone out or to target someone, people are going to run with, right? They're not going to just look at this as like, oh, that was cute, that was funny. They're going to be like, okay, perfect. You're giving me a great example of why I should target you, and you're giving me something to feed to the other contestants as to why you should go. It's just bad. It's just not a good move. Like, if you're going to do something like that, do it once. You know, it's funny, it's whatever, it's goofy, it's and whatever. But when you continue to do it, and it's just, I'm telling you guys, it's a bad look. It's so stupid. Don't insult true beauty. Even the snakes want Jake off the island. What's up, Guard? Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Yeah, even the snakes want him off the off the island. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, also, what is with the one nipple piercing? Like, it really, I don't know why it bugs me, but it does. He has one nipple pierce, and I'm just like, my eyes just like, why am I looking at this right now? Why is it the only one that's pierced? I don't know. It caught my attention. I was like, oh, this is very cringe. Survivor 49 really is just an ad for Survivor 50. It really is. And it does feel that way, right? It feels like an ad. It feels like something that is kind of yada yadaing, right? It's like, let's yada yada to 50. God, my camera keeps moving. Stop moving. All right. Yeah, I thought it was hilarious too. I've only seen episode 1, not finished with episode 2. This season was already doomed because of spoilers. Now, no, let's not get into spoilers. I don't know any spoilers. The only spoilers I know is who's on 50, and I feel like that's fair because I feel like pretty much everyone knows who from this cast is on 50. But as far as like spoilers for who wins and all that, we don't talk about that here. We're not about that. We want to enjoy the show, talk about it week by week, and continue to watch and love Survivor. Even when it frustrates us, we love it. We are not here to treat them with kitty cat gloves because they watch. I'm going to drag them accordingly, just like superfan BB Lauren. And that's the thing, too. I'm not going to give them kitty cat gloves either. But like, I do want to give them the benefit of the doubt as to I do see some dynamic characters on my screen. Now, I wish that they would open up the interpretation of the show through multiple people's eyes and not just Savannah's and Sophie's. I want to see what other people are thinking. Also, I want to see more screen time for Yellow next episode. Now, I know a lot of that's going to be filtered out by the fact of the whole Jake the Snake situation, but I do want to see what happens with the Yellow tribe. I want to get more into their tribe dynamics. Now that MC has kind of turned her back on the 3 that included her in Christina, Matt, and Steven. They did that so poorly, by the way. I want to get into the Yellow a little bit because we don't have much to talk about with Yellow, but I do want to get into that a little bit. They absolutely screwed that whole situation up, and they did what I always said you should never do. If you want to form an alliance and you have an alliance of, 3 of you there and you're like, okay, we want to bring in this fourth. The absolute worst thing you could do on Survivor is bring in that fourth while all 3 of you are standing there, right? Where all 3 of you are there and be like, hey, we were just talking about this. We want to be an alliance and we want to bring you in. It's not good. Do not do that, because that instantly makes the other person feel like they are on the outs of that 4. They are always going to be 4 of 4 in their eyes in that group. While they might not be, and maybe they were just the last to arrive, it's not a good look. I would feel like that as well. So obviously it's going to make them feel like, why would I work with this if I'm always going to be 4? So what they should do is be like, hey, we really like this 3. That's the person we want to work with. We want to work with MC. Christina, you go talk to her. Or Matt, you go talk to her. And then Steven, you go talk to her and let her know, hey, what are you thinking? These are the people I'm liking. What do you feel about that? I think we can form something. And then all get her to go with you to those other people and be like, hey, me and MC were talking. We like you guys. Do you think we should form this? Even though you've already had that conversation, even though you already know, hey, this is the 3, and then we want to add her as the 4, make her feel like she is one of the ones starting this alliance, not that she is one of the ones getting introduced to the alliance. 1000% that's what you should do, because we looked at this episode. MC was like, yeah, this is great and all, but you guys are always bringing me in 4th here. So I'm going to go tell Sophie, hey, this is what's going on, because then I'm going against those 3 people's wishes because I don't want to be 4 of 4. That's what you should do. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that as well. All right, so MC looks great. Looks like a good one. I do like MC. I think MC looks like a strong player. We're not getting a lot of MC, though, so that worries me. It really does worry me for her longevity, especially if she's going against the 3. All it takes is for like Sophie or Jason to be like, thank you so much for that information that we're on the outs, and then go running back to that group of 3 and be like, hey, listen, this is what MC said. She said that she was with you guys. She said that you guys are targeting Sophie. If you want to, we should go after her. She's the one trying to blow up your alliance. Like, it could work out really bad for MC, but it could also not. It's dumb and petty. I agree. Sorry, He-Man, I forgot to read your comment. Lauren sucks. I would have tried to work with her because as someone from Louisiana, I don't count Ian as being from the States. To be honest, Jake got nothing to lose. His muscles make him an instant target. Yeah, instant target when you become, you get to merge or you get to some kind of swap. But right now in the preseason game, in the early game, absolutely people are going to keep Jake around because he has the muscle. You're already struggling in this competitions, and you don't want to lose the one muscle you have in that competition, in like competition threat. What happens if an entire tribe goes out pre-merge? So it usually doesn't happen, right? Like in the new era, the smallest we've seen these tribes get down to is what, 3? Was it 46 that we saw them get down to 3? And that was like the smallest tribe we've seen yet. Pretty sure they get down to 3, even if it's an absolute disaster tribe, right? They get down to 3 people in the tribe. So we could go one more episode. And let's say Jeremiah leaves, right? If Blue loses again, they're the disaster tribe. Jeremiah leaves, for an example. Not saying he is, I'm just giving an example. Then we'd have Alex, Jake, and Sophie. And then most likely at that point, they would do some kind of swap. That's usually what the show does. Get your comments read live here on stream. If you guys can't, give me a like, a follow, a sub. Hit that bell notification so you're notified whenever I do go live. Appreciate you guys. You guys are killing it in the comments right now. Get your comments read live here on stream. It's too much talk from Savannah. The same confessions with no need for action, feels forced, and not much else at this point. I do agree that we're getting way too much from Savannah's point of view, right? And I know they want to make her main character because she is on 50, but at the same time, I am interested to see what the other people have to say as far as this alliance. We got a little bit of Rizzo, we got a little bit of Nate. More so the Nate stuff was the generational talk about slang and all that. But we're really getting nothing from Savannah's point of view. We're really getting nothing as to, yes, she's a part of this tribe, but we don't know how she really feels about the 4 that she's with. Honestly, I thought Savannah would have been in the Sage position. Even though, yes, Sage is an oddball. I like Sage a lot, but she is an oddball. She does seem to be the fun comedy on the tribe. But Savannah with her, like, praying over the crab, her yoga meditation for everyone. I would have thought she would have been on the outs, but she's in the thick of it. So good for her. There's a right time and a right way to say something. Exactly. Like 100%. 100%. Something. Yeah, Savannah and Riz Flop are not really giving to be on 50. Now, that's another thing. I know we've had our gripes, and I know I've shared them quite vocally about my feelings towards 50. But did we really need 2 people from 49? Do we really need 3 people from 48? That's 5 people right there. That's 5 people. That's a quarter of the cast in 2 seasons of your 2 most recent seasons. I just don't understand it. And plus, if you're going to bring back 3 people from a season, 48 is not the one. 48 is definitely not the one. It was probably the most boring season I've seen in 10 years. Absolutely hated it. You have a winner from 48. You have his closest alliance member who is clearly going to work with him. And you have the guy that was just like the 3rd place, GOAT, but that everyone at home loved because he was a nice guy. Like, I don't need to see that again. There's thousands of people you could have pulled from this, like from the zeitgeist that is Survivor, right? Like, there's so many people you could have pulled from, and to pull 5 from the 2 most recent seasons is wild to me. It's wild. Like, 5 people, a quarter of the cast. And you think that's a representation of 50 years of Survivor? I just don't get it. I don't get the mindset there. There's so many people that have been dying to get back on this show after many years. So many Survivor legends. So many people that we've only seen play one time. And it's been so long since we've been able to see them play again. And this is what we get? I can't, man. I can't. And I'm excited to see it all play out. I'm not spoiled on 50. I'm excited to see, what happens. There are a lot of people I am excited to see play again. Don't get me wrong. But pretty much every single one of them is pre-Survivor 40. And I think that just shows what people wanted. People didn't ask for this. We asked for a representation of 50 years of Survivor. Not half new era, half old school. It doesn't make sense. But I appreciate your comment. Let's see here. I liked MC because she was the only one willing not to play the boring majority 4 game. I remember a time with 3-2-1 votes. And that's the thing, is I do like it as well. I do respect it. I think that Gabe brought this up because Gabe really played like that too, right? Because he could have gone with the majority, but he wanted to save the people on the bottom in Sue and oh my God, what's her name? Catherine? Yeah, I think it was Catherine. But he wanted to save them. He wanted to work with them. He didn't want to work with TK and the others. He wanted to work with the people on the bottom. So I do like when people go against the grain and do something like that. And really take control of their game. The problem is, I worry about this backfiring in MC. The thing is, we just haven't seen anything. We haven't seen anything from Yellow as far as like what the tribe dynamics really are and what Sophie's going to do with that information. Poor Jason. Jason, we have not seen outside the puzzle, right? Through 2 episodes, we got Jason was an alternate and Jason's good at puzzles. That's it. Like, that's literally all we have on him. The poor guy, man. Like, no screen time. Not even shown on this episode. I forgot he was even on the season until they showed him on the puzzle and just like, oh, Jason killing it on the puzzle again. So that's all Jason's going to be known as the puzzle guy. Because outside of that, we got nothing on him. Like, I want to know what he's thinking. Where's his game at? We can equalize this, screen share a little bit more. But I will say this, guys. I did like this episode, even though I'm being a little harsh right now. because I do think we need more from the Yellow Tribe. Episode 2 of pretty much every season is always one of my favorites. I said this yesterday on stream too, is that episode 1 is like get to know you, a lot of challenges, a lot of like, oh, this is who we are. We're building the shelter. We're getting early stages of alliance building, and then it's vote out and we're done. Episode 2 is where you get the real development of the characters and the tribe dynamics. So I do think episode 2, with this episode, we got to see a lot more of that. We got to see a lot more of where people lie. We just got nothing from Yellow, essentially, like just very little. So I do think we could have spread that out a little bit more. So I'm hoping in episode 3 we get more Yellow than we've gotten through 2 episodes. Jake, a former Magic Mike dancer, possibly Dancing with the Stars cast member. I don't think so. When was the last? Was there ever a time they've had, excuse me, anyone from Survivor be on Dancing with the Stars? The only one I could see them actually ever getting, and I'm not the biggest Dancing with the Stars guys, so I have no idea. Maybe they have, but like, what? Boston Rob, is that the only one? Like, and I don't even know if he's been on it, but like that would be the number one with the bullet who they would pick. And has he even been on it? I don't know. But yeah, there's no way they're dipping into the Survivor pool. Like, they'll get housewives. They'll get, trash TV before they get anyone from a social strategy game like Survivor. I mean, has anyone from Big Brother even been on Dancing with the Stars? I don't think so. I don't think there's anyone been in that world. In the hands of Jeff, and that's what it was. It was in the hands of the fans. I don't know. Not so much. I agree. Save newer players for a different returning season later. Exactly. Like, you could have given us new era All-Stars in 49 and 50 been legends along with maybe, 1 or 2 big characters from that new era All-Stars. I wouldn't have minded that. Or even a couple of people that weren't on new era All-Stars and put them on 50. But you don't, or like that would have been a new era All-Stars, but they weren't on 49, and then put them on 50. You could even have like 2 or 3 people from the 40s. I would have no problem with that. But when it's half the cast and 5 of the cast members are a quarter of the season from two seasons of Survivor, the last 2 seasons, that I have a problem with. That is an issue. If I want a winner, Kyle would be on the bottom 5, then I would call. Yeah, there's no, of all the winners, like the last one I would want to see is Kyle. No offense to Kyle, I don't need to see it. We just saw it. I don't know anyone dying to get on the show again. Dead players can't play again. I know a lot of people that want to play again. I trust me, I've been in this community. I have some of these people are my friends. There was a lot of chatter amongst former Survivor players, and I was a part of some of those behind the scenes conversations, not like a part of it, like as in I had any part in their say or like what's going on with them contacting each other. I just happened to be a fly on the wall, being a producer here and having people that are former players talking to guests that we had on stream about Survivor 50, and then talking about what other people are saying that they know could be or could not be on the season. So there was a lot of chatter, and there's a lot of people that want to play. Fairplay would have given his left nut to go on Survivor 50. He thought for sure he was a shoo-in, and I feel for him, man. He took it hard. He really wanted to be on 50. So I know there's a lot of people out there that wanted to be a part of that. 50 years of Survivor when the first season was in 2000. No, it's not 50 years. It's 50 seasons. 50 seasons. So there's 2 seasons a year. That's why. Outside the COVID year, that was like there was nothing going on because COVID. My biggest Survivor 50 snubs: Rob C, Fairplay, Rupert, Russell Hantz, and Philip Shepard. I could do without Philip Shepard. I feel like I've seen that story play out. And Russell Hantz, I don't think he'll ever get on the show again. I think there's been too much outside stuff that there's no way I think he'll ever get on. Rupert, I would have been okay about. It's whatever. It's Rupert. It would have made sense for 50. Would I be dying to see Rupert? No, but like it would make sense for 50. Fairplay, I would have loved to see. Rob C, I would have loved to see. There's a lot of them. That I would have loved to see, but just didn't work out. And honestly, not having Rob C on 50 is crazy to me. It's crazy to me because you know how many people would have loved to see Rob on Survivor again. And then Traders just swooped up and picked him up. And that was good on them. That was a right move on them. That's exactly what they should have done. Honestly, it might work out better for Rob C and his channel, because guess what? Now he's getting an even broader audience of people that are fans of the Traders and, like, housewives, what have you. There's so many people that tune into Traders for different reasons, while Survivor is a direct niche, right? So I think for his brand, absolutely, I think the Traders was the right way to go for Rob. Even though I know he would have rather gone on 50. And I've said it on stream, maybe I don't know, maybe it was what he wanted after all was to go on Traders, because I do think it would have been bigger for his brand. Jason said he was a lawyer and former Smash Bros. Champion. Yeah, that's the only other thing we got from him. That was the only other thing we got from him. Tara would be better if Ashley was Hannah's partner. I mean, Hannah's going to pick her sister, obviously. That's without a doubt. The bigger problem I have with Tar is, why are Tucker and Rabina not on the same team? Like, they're basically, it's like they're playing for the same reason. And I know they're not like married or anything, but like, it just feels weird. It feels weird that they're not on the same team. I don't know. I didn't really understand that. Why? Like, you could have got another group for sure pretty easily and just put Tucker and Rabina together. No, the one would be Richard, Boston Rob is not that big. I think Boston Rob is probably the biggest survivor in the world right now. Like, out of anyone there is from Survivor in modern culture, right? Yes, Richard Hatch obviously is one of the biggest names because he was Survivor 1 winner. It was a big deal. But over time, I feel like Boston Rob has become the face of Survivor. And I don't think anyone can disagree with that, right? There's been a lot of outside influences with Richard Hatch. Why do I keep saying Richard Hatch? Richard Hatch, that absolutely played a factor in what people thought of him and his, maybe, his popularity. But the face is Boston Rob. I don't think anyone can disagree with that. I mean, look, we just had Boston Rob on a Big Brother episode. Like, clearly, we didn't have Richard Hatch. We didn't have, any of these other people. We had Boston Rob, not even Sandra Diaz-Twine, the first ever 2-time winner. We had Boston Rob. Boston Rob is the face of Survivor, and it's without a doubt. The ones would be Jamie Kern Lima, but she would not be called for her BB fame. I don't even know who you're talking about. Jamie Kern Lima? I don't know. More snubs. Imagine Carolyn Weiger, Abby Maria Gomez, and Jerry Manthe on Survivor. They all should have been. They absolutely all should have been. And I know Carolyn got snubbed because she went on the Traders, and they looked at that as an act of betrayal and basically blackballed her from 50. 1,000%. Oops. No, like, former players want to play again, but if they die, they can't play again. Like, no one's gonna die. Like, at the end of the day, like, yes, we've had some very close calls, especially with like Caleb. But like, they have a very good medical team. I feel like, yes, there's always the chance that could happen, but people would absolutely give anything to play this game again. I think there's more people that have played this game that would do anything to play again than there are people that are good and don't want to play this game again. Tar is kind of cringe. I mean, it is what it is. Like, the Amazing Race is just, I don't know. Like I said, guys, I only watch really the Survivor or Big Brother renditions of the show, but it's very much just copy paste. Now, not to say like Survivor can't be that way, Big Brother can't be that way, but it's just like each challenge, each day, it's just the same thing. I don't know. It is hard for me to like completely get into it unless I have like a rooting interest on the season. That's for sure. Tucker and Rabina are broken up. They are broken up now? Were they broken up when they were on the show? I know they weren't broken up when they were on the show, but they're broken up now. I didn't know that. But at the time they weren't, were they? I aren't Taylor and what's his face broken up now too? Or they were broken up even when they were on the show, but they still wanted to be out there and do it. I don't know. People know Richard, pop culture, only reality TV competitions, no Rob. I disagree. Yes, I do agree that people know Richard because it's Richard, right? It's Richard Hatch from Survivor 1. Of course they know him. But yes, Kylan. Sorry, Kylan. Yes, Kylan and Taylor. Weren't they broken up when they were on the season? That's what someone said before. That they were like kind of faking being a couple so that they could be on the show. I don't know if that's true or not. But I think that the face of Survivor and the well-known person, I mean, look, he's gone on many, many other shows. We saw him on Dondi. We saw him on Big Brother. We saw him we see him in commercials. Like, he is that guy, right? He is the Survivor guy, way more than Richard Hatch. Even though, yes, Richard Hatch is extremely well known. Everyone knows Boston Rob. Everyone, even my friends that don't watch the show, I would tell them, oh, yeah, I'm on Rob Has a Podcast. They're like, oh, Boston Rob? Like, everyone knows Boston Rob. It's 1,000% the face of Survivor. Richard's been in hundreds of shows. Yeah, but it's just not the same. Like, yeah, he was in House of Villains, which is cool. But, like, I'm telling you guys, Mary, you might disagree with me on this one. I'm going to stand on my hill over here. Let me know. Do you think Richard Hatch is the face of Survivor? Or do you think Boston Rob is the face of Survivor? Parvati is as much as Boston Rob. I don't disagree. I think Parvati is a big name. Absolutely. I think she is one of the biggest names of Survivor, but I still think it's Boston Rob. Like, I still think it's Boston Rob by a mile. And the show has really pushed that narrative in a lot of ways. To do Dancing with the Stars, they would call Jamie BB1, but she is famous for being a businesswoman, friends with Meghan Markle. Interesting. Jamie from Big Brother 1 is super famous, huh? I didn't know that for being a businesswoman. I had no idea. Kylan, yeah, Kylan. Your thoughts on Tribal Council? People complaining the lack of food will cause them to die. I highly doubt anyone will die on Survivor. No, I don't think anyone will die. And I do think, like, they're obviously going to pull someone from the game if there's that malnutrition or they think that it's really a threat to their survival, 1,000%. But I think that, like I've said on the stream before, I don't need to see these people starving, right? Like, I don't need to see them eating worms in the ground to survive. I understand it's no longer 39 days and you want to make it tougher on them because it's not 39 days. But I don't think giving them no rice or beans or what have you is the answer. I don't need to see them fog-brained. It's hot, and we know that this season's like particularly hot, but we've had other conditions like cyclones, what have you. I don't need to see them starve, though. I don't. Give them rice. Like, if it's really going to be that big of a deal, if it's going to be that big of an issue, give them rice, and I will have no problem in the world. It can still be a shorter game. And it doesn't take away the fact that, yeah, it used to be 39 days, so we got to make it harder on them, and we got to take away their food. I'm okay with it being 26 days. It's still a good TV show. It's still entertaining them on TV screen. It's a lot better than 14 days, I'll say that much. But I digress. I don't need to see them starve. I'm not saying give them all these accommodations like we saw on Australia v. the World. But give them ample amount of rice, and I'm good with it. And we see them usually get it later in the season, but you can give it to them right off the bat. It doesn't change that much for me. Palaver Girl, what's going on? Good to see you in here. Hiya, Bobby in chat. Late, but here to give a like, and I'm a be reply crew later. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much, Palaver Girl. Appreciate you. You are a real one. Thank you for always being in the comments and giving the love. Appreciate you. Pam says they were kissing and calling each other babe when they did good. Yeah, so they were definitely a couple then, right? That's why I'm saying, like, maybe they were not a couple now, but they definitely were a couple then. Hatch faces Survivor. I disagree. I mean, yes, he's one of the faces, probably on the Mount Rushmore of Survivor, right? because he is the first winner. And he's had a lot of time as a public figure. But if we're talking about number one person Survivor wants to put as this is the face of Survivor outside of Jeff, it's 1,000% Boston Rob. Boston Rob, 100% is Survivor face. Love Rich, though. Same. I love Rich, but he's definitely not Boston Rob to the American public. I would say Jamie is rich and successful, but I don't think she is a star. And that's the thing is maybe I have to do more research on it. But yeah, I did not know all that. Richard Hatch is Survivor. He won when the show debuted, and it was everywhere. I don't think Boston Rob could reach that. I just disagree, guys. I think in the public face right now. Let me know in the comments. Once this video is posted on YouTube. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys disagree with me, or do you agree with the majority of the chat? Me and Palaver Girl are on our own island over here, where we believe the face of Survivor currently, if you're thinking about, hey, who do we pull from this show to be the representative of Survivor? It's 1,000% Boston Rob. The show wants basically nothing to do with Richard Hatch. They didn't even have Richard Hatch on Winners at War. The first ever winner of Survivor was not even on Winners at War because he's so outcasted by Survivor. So Survivor doesn't want to put him as the face. So if you really think about the face of Survivor, maybe it's a good panel question to put like on social media. Who is the face of Survivor? Richard Hatch, Parvati, Boston Rob. And I'd be interested. Maybe you can even put Sari there too. But like, I don't think Sari would be that person, but like, or maybe Sandra. I don't know. But if you were to do some kind of who is the face of Survivor to the American public, I think it's Boston Rob. But I could be on an island here. That's all good. We can differ in opinions. That's what's great about this community. We said it many times. I mean, Richard is more well known. Why Boston Rob is in this street. I think that they're both really well known. I think they're both like in the lexicon of who knows, like who's on Survivor, like a face of Survivor. I think they're both up there, but I just think Boston Rob's that guy, and the show really pushes that narrative. I never heard of Jamie until I started watching Big Brother 8 or 9 years ago. Interesting. I mean, honestly, I didn't know Jamie did anything post Big Brother 1. Boston Rob fame is on a bubble. Oh, I don't think so. I mean, the guy has been on the show for 20 years, like 20 plus years, and he's still on TV. Like, I don't think his fame's on a bubble by any means. He has his own freaking show when it comes to like building houses and stuff too. Like, let's be real. There are too many people vying for olden days torture type gaming. It's 2025. Let's evolve. Starvation is not necessary. Exactly. Thank you. I agree. Starvation is not necessary. And if it's going to give people brain fog and really cripple the actual gameplay because of the fact that they have lack of nutrition and the heat and all that, like give them a little bit of food. It doesn't have to be a huge amount of food. Give them a tiny portion and I'd still be fine with it. But give them something to put in their bellies so that they don't have complete brain fog and can't play the game. That was last night on Tar. Sorry, Wednesday night's episode on Tar. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah. See, I just don't know what's going on there. I suspect hunger is just the production team lazy way of keeping at least one survival element in the plot. No, 1,000% that's what they're doing. They're doing because they want to make it harder on the people because it's not 39 days, but they're also doing it because it's like, oh, now if we're going to take away something, we got to make it a little bit harder. So let's do that. And yeah, whatever. We'll give them food eventually down the road, or they can win a competition and win food. But outside of that, they get nothing else. And I don't need to see that. I don't need to see that. I'd rather them not have brain fog. Worst near death on Survivor. Michael Scoopin is what you meant. Michael Scoopin falling into the hot fire, or seasons 44, Matthew fell off the rock face that he had injured himself pretty badly. I mean, I think the worst one was Caleb collapsing with heat stroke. That one was really bad. That one was like really touch and go for a minute. Like it could have been way worse. I would say the most memorable is Scoopin falling on the fire. Like that was back when Survivor was Survivor, right? Like the biggest show in the world. We're talking about season 2 that had the highest viewership of any show ever in the history of television at the time. And when he fell in the fire, everyone was talking about it. And he was in a good spot in that game, too. He's a terrible human being that we've come to find out. But he was in a good spot at the time in that game. And him putting his hands on the fire, like, passing out because of the smoke, that was bad. And you just see the skin just falling off. Like, that was crazy TV back in those days. Hatch has not been back. He was on House of Villains. Rob was on Celebrity Surprise Home Makeover and Traders and some other construction shows. Exactly. That's why I'm saying, like, Richard Hatch, he's known most for winning Survivor 1, which was huge, not paying his taxes on the winnings and going to jail, and then just kind of trying to keep his face relevant out there because the show wants nothing to do with him. So doing all these other little shows to get his face out there. Well, Boston Rob has become like well known amongst everyone. No one else can go on this show ever again with a hat with a team logo, right? Like, I couldn't go on there with this hat or my Padres hat or what have you. Like, as much as I would love to go there with my Vikings hat on, my Viking shirt on. It will never happen because copyright, right? They're not allowing that. The show will gladly have him back on and give him his Boston Red Sox hat and pay those copyright fees just because it's Boston Rob. And that's been a staple. No one else will they do that for. Like, the show has pushed so much for Boston Rob to be the face. Richard Hatch is the Michael Jordan of Survivor GOATs. Like, yes, like, he is the Michael Jordan. I completely agree with that. He was the first ever winner. He played very well. I just think, I mean, I wouldn't even put him the GOAT. I put him on Mount Rushmore. So, okay, let's go over this then. What are your guys' Mount Rushmore of players from Survivor? If I had to pick, right? And Mount Rushmore is 4 people. Okay. As much as I want to put a 5th out there, there's 4 people. Number 1 would be Boston Rob. Number 2 would be Richard Hatch. Not necessarily in any order. I'm just saying, like, who would be on there. Number 3, Tony. Number 4, Sandra. And I'm not saying there's an order. I'm just saying those would be the 4, right? I think the 5th on the outside looking in would be Parvati. Parvati, I know that some people consider her a 2-time winner. I do not. I think she is a winner that also has a fun other win, but not a 2-time winner. Just like Nicole is not a true 2-time winner of Big Brother. She had a win and she had a fun little extra game win. Not the same. And I know I'm on an island on that one. You guys don't have to debate me on that. I know you guys don't agree, and that's fine. But those would be my 4. Richard Hatch, Boston Rob, Sandra, Tony. Parvati's on the outside looking in. She's right there, though. But I want to know, who's your guys' Mount Rushmore? Holy cow, you guys are killing it in the comments because I am way behind. All right, there we go. Me like an island of 2 with you taking invitations. Me like an island of 2 with you. We are on our own island over here. We are taking invitations to anyone that sees it the same way. Sure, Boston Rob is the face of Survivor, but he is an F-list famous, while Richard, not the face, is a D-list. At least you agreed with me, Mary. Look at you, came to the light. You see now that I was right about Boston Rob being the face of Survivor. It's such a silly argument too, but it's so much fun. I would rather watch Richard Hatch, but I think the public eye, it is Boston Rob now. Thank you. See, Palaver Girl, we're not on an island here. People are joining the side. Like I said, it's not about like who do you like more. It's who do you think the public thinks is the face of Survivor. And it's definitely Boston Rob. How dare you not pick Joe and Eva as the face of Survivor? I guarantee you there's people out there that are just new era fans only that probably see it that way. I guarantee it. I bet you there's people out there that are just like, Joe and Ava are Survivor. And no one else feels that way. Face of Survivor and Survivor spokesperson is totally different. Boston Rob is always doing interviews for them, and rightfully so. It's different with Hatch. He won when the show had its most views. Don't disagree with you. Don't disagree with you at all that like Richard Hatch is up there, right? He is one of those people that is in like the lexicon of greatest players of all time or like greatest like survivors of all time, what have you. Hall of Fame survivor player, what have you. I'm just saying that if we're talking about when someone outside of the fandom thinks of Survivor and thinks of, hey, who's the most popular person? Who's the biggest name from Survivor? Right now, I would say the majority of people would bring up Boston Rob. I really do. And some would say Richard Hatch, absolutely, because maybe they just remember Richard Hatch as being the first ever winner. But I would definitely think two people, or like people would think that the main person would be Boston Rob. And that's just what my opinion. Who is the Boston Rob of Big Brother? Ooh, that's tough, right? It's tough because us as a community might feel one way, but like, who is the person that is like the face of Big Brother? Is it Rachel? Is it Janelle? Like, if we're talking about like the face, if someone says, oh, have you heard of the show of Big Brother? Can you name one player? Who's the first person that they would name? Maybe Dr. Will, maybe Dan. But I think that's a little more like not as cut and dry. There hasn't been someone that's been completely like thrown in our faces that this is the person for Big Brother. I think Rachel's got to be up there. I think Dr. Will's got to be up there. I think Dan's got to be up there. Janelle. It's tough, though. It's a good question, Kendra. It's a good question. Who do you guys think? Bob's are two different things. Who is the face versus who is more well-known in general? I mean, I think that's kind of the same thing, though, right? It's like if you're talking about who is the face and like, I get where you're saying, but like, I think it goes hand in hand because it's like, who is the face and then who is more well known? Well, those are kind of hand in hand with the same thing, right? Because if we're talking about general public, not or thinking of Survivor, I think they think Boston Rob. You guys think they would think Richard Hatch. But at the same time, it's also who is the face that the show is putting out there. It's still Boston Rob. So I think both are true from my point of view of what I'm trying to throw out there. Boston Rob is everywhere, not just Traders or Dondi. And Boston Rob annoys me to death, by the way. Too cocky, but he earned his rep as Godfather. Yeah, like exactly. Thank you. That's exactly how I feel. I like Boston Rob. I don't have a problem with it. I know people do have a problem with that gameplay. But like I said, let me know in the comments. What do you guys think in the comments? What you think of the face of Survivor or even the face of Big Brother? Let me know what you think there. The very first time I watched Survivor, I was grossed out about the things they had to eat. The gross food eating competitions, bring them back. I think they should have them every season. I like the gross food eating competitions. Make it in a way that's fun, and I'm all for it. All right, Dreadlock Russell was scary as scary as well. Yes, he was, but like that was a very scary situation too. So I don't want to discount that. But I mean, I don't put it in the same category as those other ones, but it was very scary. There might be a difference between male and female viewers, don't you think? Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that. And I think there's a lot of people that would put Parvati or Sari as the face of Survivor. Absolutely. And maybe because I am a male and I'm not trying to just play because it's only the male card. I'm just thinking in general, what is the show pushing out there and what is the show giving us as who they want as the face, while also who is the general public going to say is the face, right? So I'm not trying to make it a male versus female thing or male opinion, but I do think you're absolutely right that given male viewers and female viewers, that there can be an absolute difference in opinion on that matter. For sure. And no one's right or wrong. It's also just opinion. Mount Rushmore of what? I said like of Survivor. What's your Mount Rushmore? Good gameplay or okay, or fame. I'm trying to. Sorry, good point. That's actually a very good point that you bring. I'm talking about Mount Rushmore of the face of Survivor, right? Who's the Mount Rushmore of people that you're like, when I think of Survivor, these are the ones that come to my brain. And that's why I think those 4. I think Parvati's right there. I wish I could include 5 because she would be number 5 easily. But I think those are the 5. You got the two-time winners, the first ever winner, and the person that's won and has also been the face of Survivor for a very long time. Palaver Girl says, I agree. I'll add Hans for the villain rep. Do not add Suri, please. I can't. I'm saying, yeah, amongst the super fans, Suri's up there for sure. For sure. One of the most loved players of all time. My Mount Rushmore is Parb, Stephanie LaGrossa, Andrea Belke, Richard Hatch. That's an interesting one. Are you saying that as in your Mount Rushmore of your favorites? Or, like, obviously not the face, because no way you put Stephanie LaGrossa or Andrea Belke in there. But, like, obviously for your favorites, that makes sense. Mount Rushmore would be Tony, Hatch, Sandra, Boston Rob. And I think that's exactly what I had, right? That's exactly what I had. Sandra, Boston Rob, Hatch, Tony. Totally agree. Juan, you and I are on the same page on that one. Absolutely. My Mount Rushmore, honorable mentions, Brenda Lowe. I do like that. One. Best gameplays, Kim, Earl, Christy, and Todd. Interesting you have Chris Daughtry on there. I don't know if I agree with that one. Best gameplay for me is, it gets tough. It gets tough with best gameplay. I'm not gonna lie, because there's people on there that I've felt have played very, very, very good games and haven't won. But if we're talking about like people that have won and best gameplay, oh my god, why am I blanking on her name? Hold on. Okay, so that is not what I typed. So for me, best gameplay would be, well, Tony, Sarah Lucina, and I'm talking about gameplay. Mount Rushmore for gameplay would be Tony, Sarah Lucina. It's hard not to put Boston Rob up there for how dominant he was in that game where he won. But I don't know if I can. Ooh, it's tough. I mean, I guess I'll put Boston Rob in there and Kim Spradlin. Those are probably my 4. Like for best gameplay all the way around. And you might disagree, and that's fine. Have you met Hatch before? What's up, some bowl? Thank you so much for joining. Yes, I interviewed Hatch when he was on House of Villains. Me and Fairplay interviewed him. I got to talk to him. Told him it was like a full circle moment for me from being a kid watching him on my screen in 6th grade, watching him on Survivor 1 to now. He's like, oh, well, thanks for making me feel old. Yeah, he was a nice guy. But yeah, I did get to interview him before. I got to interview Boston Rob. I've got to interview Parvati. I've had a lot of really cool experiences because of this channel. So you guys give us some love here at the channel as well. Give us a like, give us a follow. I forgot Joe and Ozzy for Mount Rushmore list. No order defined. Love Ozzy. That's fair. I mean, Ozzy is another one of the ones you can see as like a face of the show. Not the face, but he's one of the faces. Best characters with games, Sandra, Tony, Parvati, Boston Rob. Don't disagree with that. As far as characters go, I don't disagree with that list at all. That is a very good list. We love your wrong opinions, Bob. Well, I'm glad you guys love them, because some people in the comments absolutely hate them, even though I make it very clear that this is my opinion and you might disagree. I like to be contrarian, right? And maybe that's just me, like being myself. I don't walk around life just always being contrarian about everything, but I do feel like it is nice to have a different opinion than the vast majority out there, because it is fun to just have a difference in opinion altogether, where it's not like in everyday life, we don't all agree on every single matter, whether it be politics, what have you, religion, all that stuff. Like even the littlest things, we all don't agree. So I don't think we all have to have the same opinion when it comes to our thoughts on a TV show that's on our screen once a week. We can have a different opinion, and that's okay. You think Dr. Will would be the face? I can see it. I don't disagree. I think it's just a little bit harder for me to put like an exact face from Big Brother on there. Bobby, did you know Survivor 1 was so popular they aired Survivor 1 back to back in the spring and summer? I don't remember that. I mean, granted, I was young, right? I was a sixth grade kid. But I remember my parents tuning in and being like, oh, what's everyone's talking about the show. We got to watch it. And it's a family friendly show. So if you guys want to watch it, you can. And I remember just sitting there and being glued to my television. I remember I liked Sean so much. I was such a big Sean fan. Looking back now, I'm like, little Bobby, what the hell were you thinking? This guy had no strategy. He just used the name strategy to pick someone off and eliminate him. But I thought he was so cool. I remember thinking he was so cool. And then when he was gone, like I was like, oh, I don't really have anyone to root for, but I do like Rudy. Rudy seems like a cool dude. And I remember really wanting Rudy to win. I was like, this guy served in the war. Like this guy is just such a badass. And then to see him get third place, I was like, no. I remember I was like so sad. I was like, no, not Rudy. I wasn't a fan of Richard Hatch back then, but I did respect the win. It's funny. It's like it's so long ago. I mean, we're talking 25 years ago. The face of Big Brother is Derek. Oh, I disagree. I don't think it's Derek. I think honestly it's like Rachel or Janelle. Those would probably be my two top ones. Dr. Will possibly too. The four people more known for Survivor: Richard, Colby, Jerry, Johnny Fairplay. Johnny Fairplay isn't. I wouldn't put him out there. Like, okay. So it is funny because I do work for Johnny Fairplay, right? So when I explain to people, oh yeah, I work on a reality TV podcast, like all of my regulars or people come into my work at the bar, and they're like, oh, I talked to them about my other job. They're like, oh, what do you do? I was like, oh, I work for a reality TV podcast. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. They're like, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if you know who this guy is, Johnny Fairplay. He's my boss. They're like, huh? And I'm like, he's the guy who did the dead grandma stunt on Survivor. Like, oh, I remember that guy. Like, it's always funny because it's always like after the fact they're like, oh, once you say the dead grandma thing. But I wouldn't put him up there as like he's more known for Survivor for sure. But yeah, Colby's up there. That's a good point. Colby is up there though. Tony, Sandra, Boston Rob, Parvati, Floor of Mount Rushmore, Foundation, Coach, Hans, Sari. So you don't even have Hatch on there. You have Tony, Sandra, Boston Rob, Parv. We agree on the three, but I think you'd have to have Hatch on the Mount Rushmore, and then on the floor, I would say I would probably take out Coach and put Parv there with Sari and Hans. Or just add Hans. I mean add Parvati to all four. It's Boston Rob. What's up, Marcus? Thank you so much for joining. It's Boston Rob, and it's not close. The fact that many people are arguing against it in the chat is wild to me. LOL. Richard Hatch is relevant in a small niche of Survivor where Boston Rob is global. That's what I feel, guys. I really agree with that. I think everyone knows Boston Rob. Everyone has seen Boston Rob with the Boston Red Sox B hat on. People know Boston Rob. Not to say people don't know Hatch. People know Hatch. But when they think of Survivor, they think Boston Rob. Colby, probably the most successful in general, Bob's. Not false. I would say, I don't know. He's up there. Boston Rob has recently brought more people to watch Survivor from his appearances on Traders and Dondi. Richard Hatch is old news and isn't bringing in newcomers to the show. 1,000%. 1,000% agree with that. Thank you, Marcus, for the support on my island over here. We're now an island of 3. 100% make them eat Baloo. Oh, gosh. Baloo was the worst. It was the worst. Bobby, have you tried an Asian fruit called durian? Oh, I've heard of it. They use durian in gross eating contests in Survivor. It smells worse than Keanu. I've heard about it. I've heard it's awful. I've never had it. Honestly, I don't know how I would do it at gross food eating contests. Like I would struggle. But I just pitch my nose and go. You got to do it. Survivor best gameplay, Mike Holloway. Oh, that is a hot take. I don't know if you're trolling there. Best gameplay? I mean, the guy basically ruined his game by trying to go and steal people's potential for Earl. Like everyone said, let's go grab our letters. And then he's like, went to the last second and put his letter back while everyone grabbed it. Like, I can't say that's the best gameplay of all time. He almost ruined his game there and got very lucky that he won out. I put Rushmore faces as BR, Sandra, Parv, and Coach. Okay, that's fair. Rushmore villains: Hatch, Russell, Corinne, and JFP. Yeah, I think that's actually a very good list of like the villains. I'm trying to think other villains I might put on there. I mean, oh man, I'm trying to think if there's any other villain I would necessarily put on there. I think that's a pretty good list. Hatch, Russell, Corinne, and JFP. Absolutely. No goody two shoes at Mount Rushmore, which isn't interesting. We can have a different Mount Rushmore for different categories. Oh, it's so true. It's so true. There's so many Mount Rushmores that we could possibly have. Queen Sandra is terrible player, delusional and entertaining as hell. Mix her as a hurricane cocktail. A hurricane cocktail is actually a perfect drink to represent Sandra. That's for sure. What's up, Arteritas? Thank you so much for joining. Good to see you again. I always love the hot takes on here. Huge kudos to Chris Doherty. 39 days and a powerful all-female alliance later, he somehow survived. I don't take away from his win. I just don't consider him one of the top winners by any means. Rudy, the OG, me and the brothers rooted for him and was great TV. I loved Rudy. I don't think anyone hated Rudy. That's for sure. Reality After Show owner is Fairplay. Yeah, so he owns the channel. I'm executive producer on the channel. I use this channel because obviously we had a fan base already here, and there's a lot of factors as to why I go live on After Show, right? One, I work for the channel. It benefits me to have this channel be popping and to have you guys here, have you guys in the chat, have you guys like and follow, because I do work for the channel. And me and Johnny, we're basically a two-man team. Well, Gabe Ortiz as well. Gabe Ortiz is a big part of the show. He adds a lot of content to the channel as well. But like when it comes to like anything you see posted on Reality After Show, it's either me or Johnny that's behind it all, right? And thumbnails, every kind of thumbnail on here is pretty much every thumbnail I've done. So I am, yeah, Mary says it in a great way. I'm basically the Terran, right? I'm the Terran to Fairplay's Rob. And hopefully one day we can get sponsorship on here. The dream would be able to do this full time, but I know it's a pipe dream for sure. But maybe this will take off to other ventures down the line. That's why I started my Twitch channel, because that is just mine. And he's totally, Fairplay is totally cool with that. That is just mine. And that's why any followers, any love I get there is directly given to me separate from the channel. But even then, like whenever someone does a super chat in here, like we've had people do super chats in here. I just messaged Johnny and he sends it over to me. So it's like, that's greatly appreciated. Never expected, but greatly appreciated. But like me and Fairplay are very much so a team on this. Like, yes, he owns the channel. He started the channel, but I'm basically his right-hand man. And yeah, and it's basically like I'm the Terran to his Rob, essentially. And if we can get it growing even more, I honestly think we would probably be 50-50 in a lot of things down the road. And I know people don't love Fairplay, so I hope you don't tune out because it is Fairplay. But he's a good guy. He's a good guy, and he's given me a lot of opportunities. So if you like me, and even if you don't like Fairplay, I appreciate your support of the channel. I appreciate your support of me, because it just goes a long way for both of us when it comes to keeping the stream alive. Don't throw me out of the club, so I'm bored with Parvati's Black Widow shtick. She's nice in person, I heard. Fine, she got another win on Australia v. the World, but I don't count. Sorry. You and me both. Like I think it was fun. It was a cool little experiment. It was definitely fun TV. Don't count it as a true second win, in my opinion. Dr. Will was on the first BBU I watched, so I got to go with Dr. Will. And that's totally fair. Can there be a hero on Mount Rushmore perhaps after 50 more new era seasons? Can there be a hero on Mount Rushmore perhaps after 50 more new era seasons? I think there could still be a new era. I don't know. That's a good question. It's a great question. Because I don't know if we will ever consider anyone from the new era or even post 50 as a true, like, Mount Rushmore character for any category when it comes to this show, right? I feel like even 41 on is pretty much like its own separate thing. It's not the same because not even for their fact, it's just that the show really pushed the fact that this is new era. So it made itself into a whole new category. So I feel like it has to be judged differently. And I even said in my audition tape when I auditioned, I was like, you had new era. Now post 50, 51, 52, this is the new era, right? Like this is, I want to be one of the faces of the new era because post 50, it's going to be another rendition, another version of the show and the evolution of the game. We'll see if that line worked, but yeah, so that's where I fall. I feel like post 50, even post 40 is really, it's going to be its own separate category of Mount Rushmore. All right, Kate the Great, please make them eat balloosters, drink goat blood, and all classic local foods. Yes. Balut, not balooster. I knew what you meant. Did anyone see Sandra's daughter Nina win the show Anonymous? That was a good show too. I really liked that show. Yeah, I saw her win. I liked that show a lot. Didn't really love the ending challenge, but I did like the show. She was great on Australian Survivor too. Bobby is the Terran, exactly. Gabe is a great addition to the content, in my opinion. He's really smart and socially intuitive. So well spoken too. He is so well spoken. I see why he was cast on Survivor. I wish I was half the speaker he was. Like at times, I feel like I can speak decently well. You guys tell me. But there's times too where like I stumble on my words and stuff, and I'm like, shit. Like I'll forget what I'm saying, or I'll go on a tangent. I'll stumble a lot. He is very smooth with how he speaks and how fluid and how he gets his point across. I think he's a great addition to the show as well. And I think that he's been nothing but gracious to the opportunities he's got here. And like I always ask him to be a part of everything I do because I think he's really knowledgeable and really well spoken. Ooh, don't piss off the rap cult. I'll leave that one alone. Don't forget the likes here, people. Yeah, thank you. Please hit the like button. Please hit the bell notification so you're notified when I go live. Follow me on social media at GoodsbyBobby on Twitter /X and Instagram. Appreciate you for the shout out there. Sherry, what's going on? Okay, I'm late. Is Wayne still doing Survivor? Yes. So Wayne had a lot going on in his personal life the last 2 weeks. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here for the last two shows, but he plans to be here next week for the show. So Wayne is still part of the show. You'll see him in the credits at the beginning. You know he hasn't been there for the first 2 weeks, and Johnny hasn't either. But him and Johnny, myself and Gabe will be doing the Survivor after show Wednesday, immediately following the East Coast airing on Wednesday nights. So immediately after the East Coast airing of the episodes, guys, come on here. Come back to the channel. I'll post about it. We will be going live with me, Wayne, Gabe, and Fairplay. And then hopefully we're planning on getting some guests here. So maybe some people from 47 because Gabe's working on it. But we will be getting some guests to be a part of the show as well. Postmodern Survivor. That's a great way of putting it. Postmodern. Maybe that's what I should have said instead of new era. I don't know. Who is your Mount Rushmore of super sweethearts? Super sweethearts. That's a difficult one. Ooh, I'm trying to think of some names here. Super sweethearts. I don't even. I guess. Man, That's tough. Adam. Are we talking about people like I know or like that I've met, or just like people from the show proper? I put Adam in that category regardless. Maybe not as much on the show, but in real life, Wentworth is one of the sweetest human beings I've ever met. She's awesome. Man, it's tough. Cochran. I don't know. I don't know who the fourth one would be. I really don't know. I have no idea. F for Habit's all about Bob. Bob does have a podcast. God, could you imagine the copyright infringement for that if I did Bob has a podcast for my name? Bahap. Oh, God, they would kill me. Bahap. Dart and Tootin, Bobby is the ish, in my opinion. Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are honestly the reason I do this. So thank you so much for the kind words. Chatting with this crew here will train you in debate for sure. We'll have to challenge you to give us analogies. Oh man, I don't know if I'm really that great with analogies. I'll have to. That's a good point. Is I'm gonna have to know analogies if I ever get cast. That's for sure. So yeah, definitely work on my analogies for the podcast. I honestly, my speaking ability has greatly improved just from doing this, just being able to do this with you guys. I appreciate all the kind words though. You guys are absolutely awesome. Like you guys are so sweet. I like Gabe because he played a style of Survivor that would be similar to my strategy. He did. I loved how he played the game. I still am waiting for his one big move, but that's just me. Fabio. Oh, Fabio was a sweetheart, but he was kind of like the lovable lovable doofus. Neonka is the sweetheart. I've never met Neonka on our show. It didn't seem that way. I think you're trolling, but yeah. Dawn was one I considered, but Dawn is also kind of ruthless at the same time. So I don't know if I can completely put Dawn there. What was the chick that was on? That was a famous person. Hold on one second. My wife's calling me. Here. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Wife said I locked the door. She's not even at the front door. What the heck? Hold on. I don't know what's going on. There's like a fire. I don't know what's going on. She just said, come unlock the door. She's not even at the front door. The door wasn't even locked. Hold on. Hey, the door's not even locked. No, it wasn't. It was unlocked the whole time. I just went up to it. It was unlocked. And then I opened the door and you weren't even there. No, I promise you it wasn't. That was weird. Yeah, where were you when I opened the door? Oh, that was weird. All right, sorry about that, guys. Apparently, she got locked out of the house. What's this picture you sent me? Was there a crash? I don't know. She sent me a picture or something. Car was on fire, so that's what it was. Sorry about that, guys. Didn't mean to leave you guys in a pickle there. Can you hear me? Everyone good? That was a weird chain of events. All right, yeah, Dawn, and then I thought Dee Velvet, I can never say her last name, whatever, was a good player, but her cocky gameplay, teasing Austin, and arrogant confessionals made her unlikable to fans. She wasn't my favorite, but I thought she was a very good game player. She is definitely one of the top 40 new era players for sure. On the show, goody players like Joe, Tom Westman, Colleen. Tom Westman's another one up there for sure. Colleen, absolutely. For comps, super sweethearts, Malcolm, Fabio, that dude that gave his necklace, Eric. That's all I got. It's actually a good point. Eric is up there for sure. Nyanka, that's hilarious. Yeah, no, Nyanka is definitely not on that list. Yao Man, it was a sweetheart. Yao Man, you could even put Ty. Ty was a sweetheart. Now they're coming to me. Yeah, Lisa Welchel, that's the name I was looking for. Lisa Welchel for sure. Yeah, Blair from Facts of Life. Yep, exactly. Oh yeah, you man, how could I forget? That was now that's a sweetheart. Yeah, and I think that Ty's another one for sure. In Drag Race, they also had UK versus the world, Australia versus the world, Canada versus the world. We don't count them as the same as regular winners because the casts are super small. Well, thank you. Thank you. You guys are agreeing with me on this. So it's not considered the same because the casts are small and it's different. So now am I getting some agreement here on Australia via the world? Wait, no fire? Kidding. Wifey gets a pass. She thought I locked her out. I swear I didn't lock her out. Bobby, here's my hot take. Survivor needs more poor people. People like Marvel producer Nate and NASA scientist Stephen Ram are not desperate enough. Imagine a cast full of unemployed Vince. It's a hot take, but I like it. I like it. It's as hot as this car that was on fire, apparently. But I agree with you. I think I would like more people out there that are struggling, that need this money, that have a desire to win the game, more so than just playing for the adventure. Even though I definitely threw it out there that I was playing for the adventure. But yeah, no, I agree with you guys. I think these are all very fun, very hot takes. Let me go over here real quick. I just want to see because it's not giving me accurate numbers on this. I'm excited to see what happens with my audition tape. We'll see if it actually pans out. Who knows? Who knows? Could you imagine? You guys would be the real ones. You here. People can smell the desperation. Oh, but that's what I love about it. I love that people can smell the desperation. I love that people would be playing this game even harder because of the fact that they need the money. I think that's absolutely to be desired. I like Nate, but definitely feel like a Jeff casting choice for reasons. I mean, do we know exactly what Nate did on these shows? He was a producer, but like what kind of producer? Because there's a lot of different things he could have been on as part of Marvel. But at the end of the day, guys, like I go back to it, and thank you for all of your guys' comments. You guys have been amazing in the chat today. At the end of the day, I like this season, and I think 49 is off to a good start. There's honestly a lot of potential there. I think there's a lot of potential with this cast. I want to see who. Oh, executive producer. Okay, interesting. So I want to see who is going to come out on top. I'm getting the vibes that it's Sophie B that's going to win this game. I don't know why. It's just my prediction, but I'm getting a lot of Sophie B possible winner at it. Executive producer. Oh my God, Nate. The producer was Kevin Feige, right hand man. Oh, I can never. Is it Feige or Feige or Feige? I can't remember. Right hand man. Interesting. If his Wanda love him is Ironheart Chop. So if it was Wanda, you'd love him. If it's Ironheart Chop, got it. That may be true. Jeff may want to duplicate Mike White. Oh, it's not false. It's definitely, there's probably reasons there. Nate is so rich. Imagine 20 million mansions and 20 Lambos. Like, to be an executive producer of a Marvel in the Marvel universe, yeah, you got money. What is he out here on Survivor for? What does he need this for? It's very interesting. I would get in good with him right away. Not the Inhumans producer. What's an even hotter take? For me, I'm not even like the biggest Marvel fan. I don't mind Marvel. There's definitely ones that are a lot better than others. but I don't know. It always just feels like once they did the whole multiverse, it was like, oh, okay, so nothing's real, right? Like, okay, so nothing matters. You can just bring back characters willy nilly. Like their death doesn't really matter because you can just bring them back. And I just feel like it's such a cop out. I don't know. Like I said, maybe that's me on an island once again, but the whole multiverse just seems like a cop out to me. Marvel Fantastic Four First Steps was awesome. I loved it. I heard a lot of good things. My wife went and saw that when I was podcasting a few weeks ago. She loved it. She said it was really good. So I do want to see that one. I do like watching these ones. I feel like for me, I don't know. It's just very much so like they can do anything and it doesn't really matter. The best ones by far are the Deadpool movies. And it's not even close. Deadpool is by far the best out of all of them. Let's see here. He's selling himself as an assistant producer to his tribe. Did Winter Soldier, Black Panther, the better ones too. Interesting. Well, I'm sure they're gonna love working with or like hanging out with him once they get off of the show. I have to run. Good stream today. Thanks everybody. Thanks Bobby. Honestly, it's probably a good ending point. I think we're running out of topics for as far as this week's Survivor episode. There was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this. I think this might be a good place to end it a little bit early as well. Deadpool versus Wolverine. I love that one too. Shout out to you, Kate. Thank you so much for joining the chat as always. And guys, yeah, I'm probably going to head out here. I got to get ready to pick up the little one. I got to switch laundry over and stuff too. But I appreciate you guys. You guys are always amazing. I couldn't do this without you. Please leave some comments in the comment section. Even just, hey, great job. I hate you. What have you? Let your wife in. Babe, they want you on stream. I got to catch up on Dancing with the Stars, and maybe we'll talk about it on Monday. Me and her. We'll see if she wants to. Not sure. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Follow me at Goodsby Bobby on Twitter /X and Instagram, twitch.tv /Bobby Goodsby, at After Show on YouTube. Hit the bell notification, like, follow, all of the above. Without you guys, this is impossible. So I appreciate you. And I look forward to talking to you guys Monday. I go live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 12 noon Pacific to 2 p.m. Pacific. So join me on Monday and we'll be talking some more reality television. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Be safe. And I will see you in the next one. Later.